Hi again, everyone. Scott Pyre, Popcorn Fan here, and it is time to finally talk about the Acolyte. This isn't going to be an official review. I just want to talk about the show so far and the most recent episode, episode 5, titled Night. And I really enjoyed this recent episode. It has the best action sequences so far. I really enjoy this new Sith character named Qimir. I think that's his name. It's hard to pronounce that name. Qimir. But yeah, I like this new Sith character because he just felt like this unstoppable killer, and there were some really great moments in last night's episode. But I will admit that some of the dialogue in last night's episode wasn't very well written, as well as character choices that were made in last night's episode. Which, when you go into the middle of the woods and you're in a really big group and you know that there's this unstoppable force, you don't separate. You do not separate, because you'll get killed off one by one. If you know horror films, you don't want to separate. So that's just my immediate reaction after last night's episode. You don't go into the woods and separate when you're being stalked by an unstoppable killer. You just don't. Okay. Yeah, and I think leading up to last night's episode, the show has had a little bit of a slow pace, introducing us to these new characters and fleshing them out with Osha and May going around and killing all these Jedi, which is another thing about last week's episode, because they just killed off the Wookiee Jedi character so fast it gave me whiplash, and I didn't really like that, because all these characters end up dying, and you don't get much time with them to really care. So that's another thing about last night's episode, is that there's all these other Jedi that are in the background, and they all just get killed by this new Sith character. And although I will admit there's this one scene where where the Sith guy literally stabs two Jedi at the same time, and it's like a Jedi skewer of a kill, 2 for the price of 1, and then beheading. That was a really cool moment, and that's all I'm going to say about that. And also, I have enjoyed Osha and May's character arcs throughout this season so far, and I also wasn't sure about that twist ending in the last episode, when May knocks out Osha and then kind of dresses herself up with Osha's clothes and gets that haircut, and then tricks Master Soul into going with him, and then Osha is passed out in those woods still. So I'm curious where that's gonna go, and it seems like May is going to trick the Jedi and pretend to be Osha as the episodes go on. I'm really curious where that's gonna go. But yeah, and don't worry, I'm going to put out like a spoiler warning in the title of this video to let you guys know that I'm talking about spoilers. And also, I think I'm curious if Qimir will give himself an actual Darth name by the end of this season. That could happen. I'm not sure. We'll see. And also, it's just kind of a bummer that all those characters got killed in this last episode, because I really liked Daphne Keene's character. I wanted more of her character, but alas, she gets killed too. She gets stabbed 3 times, and also I think in regards to the whole Sith plot, that's another thing, because as the show was going with these last few episodes, it focused more on the light side, with the Jedi, and I just want this plot to get going and actually be the show that was promised, being a show about the Sith and their rise into the Senate and into the Jedi Council and corrupting it. And that's the kind of story that I was interested in. And these episodes leading up to last night's episode didn't do that. And hopefully now we can start to do that in these last 3 episodes of the season. So yeah, those are my thoughts about the Acolyte so far. I have enjoyed it. I thought last night's episode was the best episode so far. And I'm also wondering about whether or not they will bring a character from Legends canon into this, like, because they did bring in Kit Mundi, I believe that's his name. He was in the last week's episode, and they changed his birth date in the canon with last week's episode, which is interesting. You know, Kit Mundi, he was in Phantom Menace, and he was killed in the Order 66 scene in Revenge of the Sith. It was cool seeing him. Well, at the same time, it didn't break canon, I don't think, but it was kind of close to potentially breaking canon with his character and some of the lines of dialogue he had in last week's episode. So yeah, and I'm really looking forward to the rest of the season, and I'm wondering if other characters like maybe Master Yoda will appear, maybe in the final episode, maybe. So yeah, those are all my thoughts about the Acolyte. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.